Welcome back once again to Mindful Serenity Yoga, or Waking Up in a Busy World, what I now combine together as Waking Up with Mindful Serenity Yoga. To get all that. And we're going to continue answering questions from the trusty jar of many questions. I tried to answer them within a 10-minute time frame. Today I've already answered 2 questions. I'm going to try to do 3 at a time for some reason. And I'm more inclined to get them done now, as I made a deal with someone to get them done and to publish, which is a little bit of an anxiety-producing situation for me, because it was not my intent to be as exposed as this person is wanting these to be. But I agreed because of a deal to do so we'll see how things go. Anyway, I am about to reach down and get a question from the jar. You see, I'm always going to look at it first to make sure it's not a question that was already posed. Okay. And I will start my timer. I will take a deep breath and exhale. So the part of my mind that always likes to pretend it knows things doesn't take over. And we all have that personal mind within us. I like to go to the wiser mind that we all have within us as well to answer these questions. So let's see how wiser mind does. What is meant by Meher Baba's statement, man minus mind equals God? Man minus mind equals God. What is meant by that? And that is from Meher Baba. Meher Baba was a very renowned, I want to call him a yogi, though he wasn't really a Hindu. I think he was Zoroastrianism, whatever. I'm not sure if I said that right, traditionally, and later claimed to be Islamic. Regardless, doesn't matter what religion sect he was a person, a great spiritual teacher, let's just say that, whatever tradition he was about. And he came up with this statement that man minus mind equals God. Okay? So what did he mean by that? And of course, we'll start with man. What is man? Of course, that is not meant in any gender-specific way. Man, it means human being. The human being, the body that we're in, etc., that makes us a human. The body and mind and form makes us the human part. The being is that which is inside the being. If we take away the human component of human being, it would be the same thing as taking the mind away from the man. We are going to find out our true essence, which he said is God. It's very hard for many people who are very attached to their traditional beliefs, what they were conditioned to believe as children in their religious sects or cultures or whatever, in terms of God. And that is not meant to be blasphemous in any way. God, again, as magnificent as God is a word. And the I amness of God, or I am that I am, is the God from biblical tradition that I adhere to. So when I hear the word God, I don't feel this need to protect the word as much as I feel the need to express what the word is pointing to. That being said, so when we say that we, without the human being, without the mind component of form, are God. This is the way I see it. I see that we are down here on this earth, souls, if you want to use the term souls, Atman, higher selves, consciousness, whatever word you want to use, are here down. We're down on this earth to evolve. Earth is a place where souls are sent to evolve. So what does evolve mean? Grow, learn, come back in contact with who we really are is the big thing evolution is meant to take, where it's meant to take us. Coming back into contact with who we truly are at the deepest level. So, we come down here to experience life fully, but something gets in the way of our experiencing. And what is that something that gets in the way of us experiencing who we truly are? So who we truly are experiences this amazing playground called Earth. That thing that gets in our way is the mind, the personal mind, the person, the psyche, the thing, the idea of self that we created through all our likes and dislikes, our pushing away, our deciding how life should be, our egocentric tendencies, thinking that life is here to serve us rather than us being here to serve life. This idea that we have to take from life in order to be happy rather than to give to life as an expression of our happiness. That me, that psyche, that mind is in the way of us experiencing who we truly are at the deepest level. It is in the way of us being the experiencer of this experience of life, becoming the knower of this knowledge that we are more than these minds and bodies we are so identified with. So man, human being, without mind, is equal to God. We get to know God and experience this amazing gift God has given us. And again, I'm just using the word God now because it's in the statement. When mind is not in the way. Instead of seeing the world through the eyes of the personal self, the mind that sees that it has to get whatever it can out there in order to feel better in here, or push away whatever it can out there that is disturbing its mess inside. When we can see the world through the driver, in this vehicle that we're in, of body and mind, the one that's actually in the driver's seat, that is down here to experience life, then our whole perspective will be changed. We will actually make contact with the divine, our own divine nature that is within us, and divinity itself, because we will see the awesomeness of life, which is a divine manifestation as well. So if we can get our personal minds out of the way and all the mess they've made, then we would be experiencing God. So if we look at ourselves as the drivers in the vessel or vehicle, as the one that came down here to experience this world, as the soul that's meant to evolve, if we could see ourselves as that, then we would have a deeper experience of life. There'd be nothing in the way of us experiencing this moment of being in the here and now. But because instead we are so identified with this mind-made thing we created, this ego, this self, this idea of me, with all its dramas and its noise and its chitter-chatter and its wanting things a certain way and its non-acceptance of reality as it is. It's resisting the life that doesn't feel good and clinging to the life that it wants. When we do that, we just create this dirty, messy veil between the consciousness, the man, and God. So, like, we are in the way. This me and its desiring tendencies, this me and its need for give me, give me, give me, is in the way of us experiencing God. If you think in terms again of consciousness, of we just being a light, big gigantic flashlight, for example, where are we shining our lights? Because this me is so compelling in all its dramas and its desperation and its fear, which is the biggest part of this me that causes so much trouble with its mess, with its, destructive tendencies. What we do with this flashlight of consciousness is shine it on that, and we narrow that beam so small that all we see is this little me, and we don't see what is beyond it. There are 8 billion little me's. And if we're all shining our flashlights, which is this consciousness that has come down here to experience life, on our little me's, then where's God in all this? Where is the divinity in all this? Where is the essence that is behind everything in all this? We don't see it. We can't experience it. And it is only that essence, that consciousness, that level of awareness, that experiencer, that soul, that has the capability of experiencing the full, beautiful experience of living as it is. So here we are with all this potential, and we're shining it on these puny little me's and all their selfish dramas, instead of on what we could be or what we actually are and what is out here ready for us to explore and appreciate and experience. And it's just breathtaking. It's all just breathtaking. I'm looking out my window right now and see the autumn leaves turning these amazing colors of orange and red and yellow. I'm seeing birds flying above me, the blue jays. They're going crazy for the acorns in my oak trees. I hear them squawking at one another. I see just nature vibrant and alive, still changing as nature does around me, and it is just an amazing experience just to be able to be here and watch this and observe this. But mine says, oh no, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta go there. Oh, what about what that person said? What will they think? Oh no, what about tomorrow? What happens if that happens tomorrow? You gotta make a plan. Can you remember what happened last year? Do you remember what happened? No, don't let that go. You got to remember that. You got to dwell in that. You got to feel that guilt and that shame and that whatever you felt then. Allow it to feel. Allow it to come up. It's supposed to. You deserve that. Da, 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 da. And mine just doesn't shut up. And we're so busy listening to it and seeing life through its eyes of fear, which is so, makes it all so constricted and retracted and restricted. Living in these tiny little comfort zones that keep us somewhat safe, or as we think they do. That we don't experience all that beauty out there. We don't actually feel the earth on the bottom of our feet. Breathe in, feel the air going in through the nostrils even. All these things are miracles. They're miraculous and amazing, but we are so stuck up in our heads, in our minds, that we fail to acknowledge that we're even in bodies, let alone in the present moment. And we're so busy resisting because of our minds what is, that shouldn't be, that is bad, that is wrong, that we just don't accept and honor what is as it is. As if we, as these personal little me's, or these minds, actually know what we're talking about. We don't. Life has been going on for billions and billions of years. And here we are for a short stint of time, given the opportunity to experience all of it. And what do? We get lost in our minds. So when Meher Baba says, man minus mind equals God, he's talking about enlightenment and freedom without the mind. Man would be experiencing God, both inside and outside. Well, we'll eventually realize that it's non-dualistic, that there is no inside or outside, but you know what I mean. Well, that is all I have to say about that. Thank you so much for joining me again. Have a wonderful day, and namaste.